This is Slam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Wojcicki and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Slam Hockey, folks. It's your pal, Peter, hosting the show. You can follow me on Twitter at Russia98. And I'm with
Paul Zwambag. You can follow me at Zwambag, ZWAMBAG. How's it going, everybody? Peter, what's up?
It's going. So the Leafs went and moved a goalie, eh?
Yeah.
So we'll just get right into that. Trending now. Jonathan Bernier's contract has been moved to the Ducks. Looks like they wanted a backup, and there's still some potential in Bernier, but he hasn't been that good for Leafs. The thing is, he had the opportunity here as a number one. They gave him the opportunity, and he blew it.
Oh, yeah.
He totally blew it. He had the chance to be a number one, and he couldn't handle the pressure, maybe. I don't know. So he's going to the Ducks. He'll be behind Gibson now, and the Leafs have the other goalie, right, from the Ducks. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how that trade worked out.
How many times has Toronto traded with Anaheim in the past, 3 years?
Quite often. There's a lot of connections going involved with, Carlisle and so on and so forth.
And Burke when he was around.
Yep, exactly.
It just seems odd that they're always trading with each other.
Mm-hmm. It happens with a lot of teams, right?
Yeah.
They all have certain trading partners that they trade with very often. And it's also because previous connections, right?
Yeah.
So it's a conditional pick that the Leafs get for Bernier. The conditions haven't been put out there yet.
Yeah,
So
they'll come out.
exactly
They'll come
what
out
it is.
eventually. So, not a big worry there.
But it's good. The Leafs open up a lot of cap space there, in case they need it.
Yeah, we just talked last episode that
It was close.
They're getting close, but yeah, and they didn't retain any salary as well, which is huge.
That is a little nice.
So who's their backup going to be?
Now it's open. It looks like they might actually go out and look for one, unless they think Bibeau is ready.
Yeah.
But I think they rather have Bibeau playing a lot more starts still for the Marlies. Sparks is still an RFA, and I don't think they project him as being a starter. But maybe he's good enough to be a backup. So they could just lock him up into a backup contract and have him there.
That's where I think they would go.
Yeah. And they've got a few other options, but we'll see. The other two big contract signings today, re-signing their RFAs. The Jets re-signed Scheifele. 8 years, $6.125 million per.
Wow.
So a lot of these guys looks like they're not getting the bridge deal. They're just going straight for the big, huge contract splash.
Yeah.
I find that odd because I kind of like the bridge deal because it's a nice tweener contract and it extends the length of how long these young superstar kids are with the organization. Because if you sign that bridge deal for 2-3 years and then you sign that 7 or 8 year contract after, that's another 2-3 years you have them for sure at least, right?
Yeah, but there's also if they have a great year in those bridge contracts, then they cost even more.
How much
later.
more though? I can't see.
Well, look at Subban. He made way more after his bridge contract.
Yeah, but that's an anomaly. No, I think it is.
I'm not really sure. I don't think there were that many bridge deals a few years back. I think it's a new thing.
Well, it doesn't look like it is right now. So the Jets lock up Scheifele. He's got some good numbers there. Roughly 0.639 points per game. He's producing pretty well already. He's kind of underrated, right? Not many people talk about him, but he's very good.
Yeah, and he's just going to have a line mate in line A that's just going to put the puck in the net, and Scheifele can just dig in the corner and set him up. And I think the Jets are built to be really good in the next 2 years.
Yep, we've got two more guys later on in this episode that we'll talk about with the Jets and RFAs. And then the other one today was Nathan McKinnon. 7 years, and I believe it was 6.3 for those 7 years. And he's slightly better at points per game than Scheifele, about 0.7. Maybe the goals are about the same, but it's points. McKinnon, when he was drafted, and especially that year when Colorado exploded and was very good in the playoffs, did we expect him to be even better than this so far?
No, I think he's playing as well as everyone expected. He's not really going above and beyond. He's just a solid forward.
Yeah, he is very good. I kind of expected a little more, especially after that year. But he's very good, and 6.3, it's pretty much in tune with the others. We got even Barkov contract that he signed last year was a little bit lower at 5.9 and 6. And then later on we'll talk about, and is a big one, is Sean Monahan. What could he be making? I'll be tweeting out a retweet of a comparable for those, and if you look at it, Monahan's pretty much similar in terms of those guys with points per game, but 80 goals. Way above, 30 goals more than McKinnon. So his contract looks like at least $7 million, if you think about it, if you're comparing him with those three.
Yeah, then that's going to be tough for Monahan, Gaudreau. Calgary's going to be...
Yeah, those are where I see maybe a bridge deal happening. I don't know. It's going to be tough. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Before we get into that, an update. Pavel Datsyuk does sign for 2 years with SKA in St. Petersburg. He actually said, it wasn't an easy decision. It did not happen yesterday. I talk with my daughter all the time, and I see how she misses me and how she misses my advice. I want to come back and be closer. So that's a big reason why he went back to Russia again. Be closer to family.
Yeah, so it had nothing to do with Olympics. It was pretty much all family.
Yeah. We do want to say congratulations. Michael Saunders, the Canadian that plays for the Blue Jays, wins the final vote and goes to the All-Star game. I think it's happening on Tuesday next week. Well, that's wicked. The Blue Jays already have like a couple going. Donaldson, Estrada's supposed to be going, but it looks like he's on the IR. I heard rumors of maybe my boy Sanchez taking his place, which would be great. But it's wicked. The thing I don't like is when they wanted to push the vote for him to win, they kept on calling him Captain Canada. Isn't Ryan Smith Captain Canada?
Yeah.
That annoys me a bit. I know it's a different sport, but still, he's not Captain Canada. I really like the name some fans have given him. Colonel Saunders.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's classic. I like that one. That was sweet.
17.7 million votes.
Yeah, that's crazy. But again, he has a whole country behind him, a great country, to vote just for him. So it's a little bit easier, I think, for him to win. And it's wicked that he's going. He's put up some good numbers. I'm surprised how well he's played. I did not see him playing this well. He's been really good. And also, congratulations, Milos Raonic going to the finals.
Yeah.
Another one from Milos. So he beats Federer. Wow, 5 sets. Fantastic.
I kind of, in the back of my mind, don't want him to win Wimbledon.
What? Why?
Okay,
What's wrong with you?
Hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
The Lou Marsh Award to the best Canadian athlete of the year.
Yeah,
I really want it to go to Brooke Henderson. She's had a remarkable year.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Henderson, the young golfer that's won 2 straight LPGA tournaments. One was a major. I had a feeling she was going to win, and now if Milos wins Wimbledon, he's going to win.
He's going to win.
Yeah, so I really want Brooke Henderson to win.
Is she going to the Olympics?
I'm
guess
not sure.
so.
Probably.
That'll be an important factor for her then, because If she wins that, then she has an even better chance. If she doesn't, then maybe not.
I still think
Yeah.
she should over Milos, even if he does win the Wimbledon.
Wow, no. You know me and my tennis, and I love Djokovic, and then I love Milos. So
He didn't have to go through Djokovic. Djokovic got knocked out early, so.
But he took out the man who beat Djokovic as well, Sam Querrey.
Yeah.
So good job, boys. Keep it going. All right, let's get into the episode. What do we have this episode? We're going to be talking about basically RFA stuff. UFA is still available. And when we get to the RFAs, we're going to be talking about the top RFAs and the guys that are, going to arbitration. So some question marks there. And then Paul has a little rookie camp update for us. And there we go. All right, let's talk about the top UFA still available. There's still some veterans out there. How do you feel about these guys, Paul? I don't know. It's tough because the top guys I have is like Verbata and Hoodler. Both can put up still a fair bit of goals, but they're getting older.
Yeah,
they didn't have such good seasons last year.
Yeah, Hoodler's just expected to sign with the Canucks. But I guess a couple more teams threw their hat in the ring, so he's weighing out his options. Probably will be solved by the end of the weekend. But I think I'd rather have Hoodler over Verbata.
Yeah.
Just the whole age.
Yeah.
I guess it's only 2 years, but Hoodler took off to the KHL for a couple of years, so I would rather have Yuri.
Verbata can score. He has the potential to score even more than Hoodler. But he had such an off season last year.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. The other one is Brad Richards. It just didn't seem like he fit well with Detroit at all. And I think he even said that. Some guys don't in Detroit. They either do or they don't. It's one or the other. There's no in between with going to Detroit and, taking your game up another notch or not, going down a notch.
I hope he signs a deal like Matt Cullen and just goes 1 year and has a great year. Maybe instead of Penguins signing Matt Cullen, they sign Brad Richards.
Yeah, well, he kind of did that with Chicago. And that was pretty good.
Somebody's going to want a veteran centerman.
You can't go wrong with Brad Richards. That could be another steal for any team, I think.
Yeah.
He might even want to play even harder for a bigger contract the next year because he knows he still has that in him. And then Chris Russell, the man who wanted a big contract, he is still available.
I wonder why.
Well, of course, there were rumors that he would go to Toronto, but that got shut down with the Leafs signing Polak. I don't know. He still has very good potential to be a good player, but I think he's going to also sign a 1 year and play better to want that big contract that he wants.
Yeah, is he going to end up like Cody Franson? He expected to get a big deal, and he's going to have to play a 1 year contract, and then he'll play a 3 year contract. Yeah, it's going to be tough for him.
It's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
He's probably going to sign somewhere for like 2 million, 2.5 maybe, and then try to get it up a little bit. I like Proust. Brandon Proust is still available, but he's getting edged out, especially in Vancouver, with them wanting to play the younger kids.
Yeah. And again, a team that wants a veteran leader. That he's not going to cost very much, I don't think.
No, he won't. He'll be really cheap, and he could still put up points and be solid on any line almost. You could still put him on a top line and give you that space that you need for your speedy talent. Barrett Jackman. That's
Rick
school. Rick
Jackman. Oh boy.
Barrett Jackman is still a solid depth defenseman. He showed that with the Blues. I think he could fit on many teams, for sure. He'll be signed for sure. I can't see him being available.
No, he'll sign for a year or two to a team that gets an injury early or has training camp problems with their younger guys that don't end up showing up at development camp that they thought were going to have a spot. Like Pittsburgh, they're expecting Derek Pouliot to take another step forward. Well, if he doesn't, not ready for that step and plays in the AHL, they could go with a veteran D-man to help their D-core.
Yeah. And then there's still Luke Shen, the human eraser, and Justin Schultz, the power play quarterback. Two younger type defensemen who might still not have hit their prime yet, right? Defensemen need a few more years to hit their prime. These guys are, 25, 26 years old. So they're going to land somewhere. We'll just see where, and if they get the ice time, they can still show younger guys what they can do to maybe take more ice time away from a rookie.
Yeah, Schultz stepped up in the playoffs.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised, maybe more so with Schultz, because I think he upped his game then. So he will really help any team, especially on the power play. And then everybody's waiting for Jimmy Vesey.
Yeah, the Jimmy Vesey watch.
Yeah.
I'm hot on it right now.
A lot of teams.
Trying to follow it. They finally met with him. The Buffalo Sabres brought Tim Murray and Dan Bilesma and a couple of their other player personnel guys. I think he's going right to August 15th is when he's got to decide what he's doing.
I don't think he wants to stay or sign with Buffalo kind of thing, right? So.
I'm not really sure because he is buddies with Jack Eichel, so he could go there. But I think he's going to wait until August 15th and see what all his options are and go from there. And he might not even make a decision August 15th. He might hold out even longer to weigh his options. But I think Buffalo, maybe Toronto might be in on him. Boston has a chance at him. I think one of those three teams
they all have connections to him, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But whoever gets him, he's going to be a great player. I think he's ready to be in the NHL as well. So it's a good. It's like getting a free draft pick.
Free wallet. Somebody dropped the wallet.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. RFAs. Let's go to the guys who went for arbitration first. Mrazek. He's going to get his payday, no? With Detroit? I think they're going to try to lock him up for long term. I think they have to almost. What do they have? Howard's been shaky the last year or two.
Yeah. They spent so much money in the free agency that did they forget about Mrazek that they got to sign him?
It's very peculiar what they've done in free agency. You don't expect that from Detroit. And they still need to lock up Peter. So, I don't know. And then there's a few teams that need to have a few arbitration players. Kreider is a big one.
Yeah.
You'd expect a big raise from him. I think they still have Kevin Hayes, McGrath, and Miller. But Kreider's the big name that stands out. He's coming off a contract at $2.5 million. I'm expecting 4.5. Like that.
I'd pay him 4.5. He's worth that.
Because look what happened with Stepan. Woo! He's making big coin now.
Yeah.
He's making about $6 million. So I think Kreider's going to make around that much. It'll be interesting. The Rangers are pretty up there in cap, and they've got quite a few of younger guys that they need to re-sign. I don't know where they are with the Rangers right now.
What do you mean?
With Nash?
Yeah.
You know, what they want to do with him and his contract? They're kind of in the middle. They still have a good, strong nucleus, and they can get to the playoffs and go pretty far. But can they take themselves to the next level? I don't know. They might need to add something more to this lineup, but they can.
They're spending a fortune on defensemen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Girardi, McDonough, list goes on.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Leafs have a few in arbitration going to. There's Corrado, there's Peter Holland, Marincin. Not big problems, really. I can't see them getting a big settlement there. For the Flyers, Manning, Braden Shen, and Jordan Wheel. Shen 2.5. I think he'll probably get a little slight raise for sure.
Yeah, maybe 3.5. How does Andrew Shaw make 3.9 and Shen's going to make less than that? Who would you rather have, Shen or Shaw?
Yeah, you'd rather have Braden Shen.
I think so.
For sure. But again, with RFA rights, it's the way it goes.
Yep.
All right, the big ones now. Mike Hoffman. He's coming off a $2 million contract, a steal that they had with him. But how much is he going to make next year? He's got to make at least $5 million.
Yeah, they got to pay him big time. Pay him and keep him for 5 years. That's a guy I would spend.
Yeah, that's going to be like a 5-year, $5 million contract kind of thing, maybe even more.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting there. Can they get him on a bridge deal? I don't know. I think it'll be too tough.
Yeah.
Marcus Johansson with the Caps. Didn't have such a great season. Just coming off a $3.7 million contract. He probably will get a raise. They usually always get a slight raise. So I don't know if the Caps will be able to afford him.
Yeah, but if he only makes like $250,000 more, make it $4 million, they might be able to fit him under.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it'll be a little more, but we'll see. There's lots of names out there like Michael Stone on the Coyotes. And there's the Predators have a few guys. The Wild have Schroeder. But the interesting one I like is the Avalanche. They have Grigorenko, but they have Tyson Barrie coming off $2.6 million. He was almost like trade bait, right? Because they didn't want to get into this dilemma right now where you kind of really have to pay him a lot because he's a good offensive defenseman.
Yeah. And they don't have a lot of cap space.
They don't.
They only have maybe $7.5 million to sign those two guys. I don't know if you can sign both of them.
Yeah, that's the problem. And because I don't see Barry signing for less than 4.5.
Yeah,
I don't.
There's no way.
Unless it's a bridge deal for 1 year or 2 years at $4 million. So that's the dilemma they have there.
That'd be a steal if they got him for that.
Exactly. So that's the only way, I think. But that's why I'm thinking 4.5 or higher for him. The Devils did lock up Palmieri, so they don't have to go to arbitration with him at 4.6 for 5 years. Jaden Schwartz, this is an interesting one because he only played about 33 games, but he was .67 points per game, and he was very solid in the playoffs for them. 2.3 cap hit, and the Blues are a team that usually don't overspend. Well, other than Stastny. I don't know why he got that deal, but...
I think that deal was from Colorado, wasn't it? Or did they re-sign him?
No, he already had a huge contract in Colorado, and then for some reason the Blues just signed him for that same price, pretty much.
Yeah, wow.
So, I don't know. Schwartz will be a tough one to re-sign. But again, with the cap, it'll be tough if it's, 4.5 or higher.
Well, they got 10 million.
They do?
Yeah.
Still be fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can see him for sure making about 4.5. Tampa Bay, they have Nemestikov, but they also have Alex Killorn, who really stepped it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think he had about 40 points during the season, but playoff-wise, he was good. He was very huge for them. So he's going to get a raise. I don't know how much. Tampa Bay, like we said many times, they've got a lot of guys that they've got to resign, especially next year. So they've got to get Killorn under a good deal somehow. And then the top RFAs, the ones pretty much looking for their second contract. Tanev is one. I think he just signed a 1 year after his first entry level. So I think he's going to get a fairly big contract. He's really jumped into a top 4 role for the Canucks.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to get a big raise after getting 0.9. I'm expecting at least $3 million. Probably a bridge deal for sure with him, because you don't know if he's top pairing potential yet, but probably not. And then we have the Flames. We already said Johnny Monahan. I'm mixing them together now.
Wow, Johnny Monahan. I like it.
You like
and
that one?
Sean Gaudreau.
So
good.
Monahan
That's good.
and Gaudreau. Are they going to go straight to the big contracts with these kids? It looks like they might.
Yeah, I have a feeling they will.
Yeah, it just seems like they will. It looks like all their other hockey brethren are doing the same. So, Monahan, is he getting that $7 million? That's kind of what it looks like. He's gonna. I'm guessing at least $6.5 million then.
Yeah, compared to McKinnon and Scheifele. Yeah, he's got to make what they're making.
I think he has to. And Johnny Hockey, close. You're not going to separate their numbers a lot, right?
No.
If Monahan's making 6.5, Johnny Hockey's making 6.25, something like that.
Really? You think he's making less than Monahan?
I'm thinking almost the same.
I think Gaudreau's going to make a little bit more.
More, yeah.
It'll be like 6'5" to 6'7", or like 6'7" to 6'9", or 6'8" to 7. Like it'll be off by like 200,000.
Yeah.
But I think Gaudreau will make the most.
He'll make more. How much space do they have?
They are 14 million.
Okay, so they have a fair bit.
Yeah, they got like 7 million each.
All right.
Don't have much else to sign.
They still have other guys that they might want to lock up in the next year or two. Younger guys, but we'll see what they do. That's why I was surprised with the Brouwer deal. It's a little bit of a high cap hit for what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
Other guys available, Nichushkin. He's an interesting one because he really broke out in his rookie season.
Yeah,
and he hasn't so much.
And just fallen off a cliff.
Fallen on the depth chart for the Stars. But he will for sure get a decent increase in his salary. I'm guessing maybe 2.5-ish in that area. Ristolainen for the Sabres. Bridge deal, for sure.
You think
Especially with Buffalo?
Yeah?
I think so. I really do think so.
I think they're waiting to fall on the Tyson Barrie, Jacob Trouba, see what they make.
Yeah.
And they'll be pretty close to what they make. Maybe a little bit less because they have a couple more years under their belts.
Yeah.
But
Trouba is very interesting.
Yeah.
After what he was asking for last year, so he's still under, he's still restricted with the Jets. Doesn't look like they're going to move him.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going to happen there because he was asking for at least $6 million.
Yeah, it was an atrocious amount.
He, in my opinion, doesn't deserve even anything close to that, at least not right now.
He's probably going to get a bridge deal.
Yeah. They have to. $4 million, roughly, around there.
Yeah,
maybe.
3.5.
Make them both happy.
3.5 for 2 or 4 for 1. Yeah, something like that.
Ryan Murphy. Very underrated because he's on Carolina. He should get a fairly decent deal, but I'm guessing another bridge deal as well. They're not too sure if he's a number one stud yet or somewhere in that. And then again, one of my favorite of all the RFAs still out there, Kucherov.
Yeah.
With all the cap problems that Tampa's going to have.
Offer sheet him.
Yeah, the Leafs. Go there and offer sheet him. Anyone. It would be cool and interesting. I just want something to happen with these offer sheets. It would be great. And Kucherov is a prime example of a guy who deserves one. He deserves to be making at least $5 million.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think he's going to get it with Tampa.
Really?
I think they're going to somehow maybe find a way to give him a 2-year deal maybe for under 5.
That'd be crazy.
I know, and it will be a steal, and I'll be really pissed off.
And he'll be making less than Callahan and Filppula.
Exactly.
Brutal.
I see it coming. Like I said, we've said before, they've got a lot of guys next year that they've got to resign. I guess they locked up the other guys like Hedman.
Yeah.
But they still have Johnson.
Vasilevsky they locked up.
Yeah.
Still got Johnson, Palat, Druin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's some big money.
And we already mentioned Kaloran. So, yeah, that is very interesting dilemma that Tampa Bay has. All right, that's pretty much it for RFAs. Paul, do you have a nice little update what's going on with rookie camps?
Yeah, I flew through a couple of the rosters and who's doing well and getting updates on Twitter and stuff. Let's go with Washington. Madison Bowie is NHL ready.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's stepping into the NHL. Probably be a 4, 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Drafty Lucas Johansson, Ryan's brother.
Okay.
Standout of 2016 crop for the Washington Capitals. I think he's going to be a solid player. Their camp wrapped up on July 2nd. Toronto, Marner and Matthews battled in the corner. There's been all kinds of videos of people watching.
He's looking cool. He's looking really stylish. He's doing some weird deeks and stuff, too.
Yeah, Matthews he looks so much bigger than everybody else out on the ice.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's 26 to all these other guys that are 23, 22, 21.
Well, he looks like he's Milos Raonic, so.
Yeah, there's a GIF that I'm going to tweet out of him receiving a pass and firing the puck, like, snap of the fingers, so quick. Like, they talked about Laine's release was NHL ready. Matthews is showing it. He's going to be a stud. Just ridiculous.
Beauty.
Yeah, you should be really excited.
I am.
Pittsburgh, Jake Gunsel. He might find a spot on the roster coming out of training camp. He's like a third-line guy, or third-round guy a couple years ago, I think. Yeah, they might not rush him, but he might force their hand and put him on the roster. Rangers, Sean Day, the infamous Sean Day.
Yes.
That had the OHL exception with Tavares and all those other guys that got the exception. Didn't look so good in Rangers camp. Coughed up a puck and just let out a big F-bomb and didn't go chase the puck down and just stopped. Like,
that's not going to make the coaches happy.
No, and they ended up scoring on their goal. I think it was in scrimmage or 3-on-3. So that's not a good start to having your coaches see at the first hand. Thomas Shabbat's another guy that got reamed out at the end of camp by the coaching staff, that he just didn't show up to camp as the leader they wanted him to. They're really disappointed in his work ethic, so hopefully he turns it back around, and I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the Senators roster for a couple more years because of this. Montreal's Mikhail Sergachev.
He is looking amazing.
Beauty goal he scored in the 3-on-3 challenge.
Yes.
I'm going to tweet that GIF out once this episode's up as well. So
Perfect.
Head over to my Twitter account and you'll see all these GIFs once this episode's up. So you'll be listening and you can watch all the videos with us. And Winnipeg's Jack Roslovic had a beauty couple of goals in Jets intra squad. I'll add the link to Jablam Hockey's Twitter account, so make sure you're following Jablam Hockey Twitter account as well.
Yes.
And then Buffalo, the team I cover for Dart Prospects, so I'm pretty close to everything that's going on there. Alex Nylander and Vaclav Karabasic have had some pretty sweet shootout goals. I've already retweeted them, so you'll have to go find them again. But yeah, those guys are just dangling all over the place, and Karabasic looks real good. So he's ready for the AHL, so he might be headed to Rochester. And there's still some camps that haven't even started yet.
Yes.
So look out for that. I think Minnesota's July 12th, New Jersey July 12th, Florida July 11th. So a lot of teams are done, but there's still some teams that haven't even started yet. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
It is. There's a lot going on with these camps.
Yeah.
And it's cool now with the whole new era in social media that we get to see a lot of these videos and these clips and these GIFs of what amazing talent is coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, and everybody's tweeting, and yeah, it's all sessions are pretty much open to the public, so that's really cool to see that, and that's where the social media really comes in, where the public gets to just put it out. You don't have to find the beat writers, and hopefully the beat writers are putting up GIFs and they're not just writing articles on their guys. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
Cool, and that's it for this episode. Next episode, we don't know when it's going to happen because we're going to go on a little hiatus now. So me and Paul can rest up for the new season coming.
Yeah.
What we do have coming, obviously in around September time, is training camps, obviously. So we're going to have episodes revolving around training camp, giving you updates with that. We do have 2 special episodes we're going to be doing around in September. The special lineup breakdown. We wanted to talk about, like, even Florida, all these changes and signing of the new contracts with Florida. You know, Barkov, Ekblad's new contract, Riley Smith, they added Demers. Their whole defense is totally different now. Yandel, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I really want to talk about it, but I want to leave that to that episode. We might even have to do a double episode for that.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to have a special expansion draft episode, and we want to leave that, obviously, also till in mid-September, because we want to see how the lineups are with all the other teams, and then what could be available for Las Vegas to draft. So we might do an episode or 2, depending how everything goes with these rookie camps and everything, but we will be taking a hiatus for a bit, and look for those episodes coming at least in September. Alright, we'll see you later, guys. And again, check us out, jablamhockey.com. Follow and go look at all our old podcasts. They're all on the website, and all our podcasts are still on iTunes. We have Team ISOs. I hope in the future we have maybe some guests with our Team ISOs for this coming season. But all our old Team ISOs are all on the website, jablamhockey.com. And again, we're still on Twitter. I'm at Russian98, Paul.
At Swambeck, ZWAMBAG.
And check out also Jablam Hockey on Twitter. See you next time.
Bye.